Welcome to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Let us know where you're watching from. It's a good day. Happy 100 days, right? Happy 100 days. We're 100 days in. And it has been a whirlwind, hasn't it? What a great rally yesterday from Donald Trump. Very happy to see his rally yesterday. I see folks coming. We got some folks from Long Island. We got folks from Northwest Florida, Tennessee in the house. A lot of Tennessees. A lot of Tennessee here. Happy 100 days from Long Island again. Oregon is in the house. Iowa. That's 3 Iowas. Iowa times 3 in the house. Michigan in the house. Franklin, Tennessee is in the house. Third day of 10 hours. What does that mean? Long work day, huh? Heather working a long work day? Is that what that is? Wow. Long work day. Tuning in from communist Minnesota. We got Iowa in the house. Hello to everybody who is in here. I know a large crowd coming from Rumble. Big, I think it's Rise Up was featured this morning. And we have a large crowd here this morning, so happy to see everybody here. Whitmer was sucking up to Trump yesterday. Oh, did I love the conspiracy theories of why is Whitmer? I said it's about the National Guard base. No, it's got to be something more. I said, okay. You know what it was about? The National Guard base. Got it. You see already, Indiana in the house. Kansas is in the house. Let's see. West Virginia, Illinois, Maryland, Arkansas. Look at that. Arkansas. Real Kansas is in the house. And there's Arkansas in the house. Look at that. Everybody's in the house. Yes, Jeremy is right. Do not forget to like this stream and share. We grow because of each share. It's 100% right. It's very easy to do. Exactly. Very easy to do. Take the link, spread it all over the place, around every social media website that you have, and your group text, and your telegrams, and even if Pete Hegseth, if you're watching, put it in a signal chat. I'm only kidding. I love Pete Hegseth. I'm only kidding. It's okay to laugh at each other. Yes, make sure we share the stream. Appreciate everybody who's here and who does that every single day. We grow with each and every share. So we thank you, and we thank you for being here. It's going to be another good day. The last day of April. Wow, how did we get here? How did we get here? Jeremy thought the signal joke was funny. It's true. Put it in a signal. You know what? Pete. Pistol Pete. Not to be confused with Packer Pete, right? Who's Buttigieg. We call him that for several reasons. We're going to go through the 100 Days rally. A couple of highlights from there. Did you guys see the interview that Donald Trump did with the fake news yesterday with ABC? He absolutely just... Can I say this? Like Levin. Can I say this, Mr. Producer? It was a bloodbath. Donald Trump with ABC. Always great. So we're going to have those highlights around the first half. Also, updates on some immigration stuff. More arrests have taken place. The Trump administration cutting a large number of student visas. An update in the Kilmar Abrego Garcia situation. He's just a Maryland man. Okay. How much more evidence do these people need that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was in a gang until they believe that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was in a gang? Unbelievable. These people. Wisconsin Supreme Court. Remember we had that Supreme Court race about a month ago? Was it April 1st? Yeah, a month ago. It didn't go our way. Well, the Supreme Court still did something good there with that hog of a judge that was just arrested, Dugan. Folks, been saying it for, I don't know how many weeks it's been. Probably since the news came. That Ed Martin was we have to confirm Ed Martin. This is not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a drill. It's not a game. It's not time for patty cake. It's not time for cutesy. Specifically, Tom Tillis, if he's your senator. Bill Cassidy, if he's your senator. John Curtis in Utah, if he's your senator. Those three, I need you to call him. Or call all of them. All of them. You got to get this done for us, please, if you're in those states. And if you're not in those states, North Carolina, Utah, and was it Tillis? Oh, and Louisiana, still call your senators. We've got to get Ed Martin confirmed. Everybody wants arrests. Everybody wants the deep state to be prosecuted, right? I do. Of course I do. I got the Spygate posters right up there. I will guarantee you right now, not a single deep state person has a chance of being held accountable if Ed Martin is not confirmed as the D.C. U.S. attorney. Not a chance. You know what you've got to do. I don't care who said what. I don't care what tea leaves people are reading. I don't care. No, we don't understand. No. I understand this very, very well. I know Ed Martin. He's a great person. He's a bulldog. He's a pit bull. He is a fighter. If we do not get Ed Martin confirmed as the U.S. attorney, the permanent U.S. attorney in D.C., not a single deep state politician will be held accountable. Now, if he's confirmed, does it mean that they're all going to be held accountable? Probably not all of them, but I would believe some of them, and some of the ones that you want to see held accountable will be held accountable, but we got to get Ed Martin over the finish line. We have to. We have no choice. All right. As Rachel Hawk says, call senators. It's fun. It is fun, especially when you leave messages on your senator's voicemail like Donald Trump. I did that with Adam Schiff before he was a senator, of course. But that was a fun thing that we did there as well. All right, let's get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms, shall we? Before we get started and get rolling with all the good stuff, OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. It is Mother's Day. I got to show you this Mother's Day box. By the way, Real Freedom Talk is in the chat again. Kelly Walker. Let everybody know. Let Kelly know what you thought of that interview yesterday, and take a look at a quick word from our friends at OFP Farms. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN, and you can get your mama one of these. Look at that, right? The Mother's Day gift set. Now, I want to open it so bad, but I don't know if there are moms that are watching these shows, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. So you're just going to have to get one to find out what's inside of it. Yeah. Look, I'm peeking out. Look. You got to get one to find out what's inside. All right, OFP Farms, OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. You get 20% off of that gift set that we just showed you. And I looked in there, and it's really, really nice, okay? And if you want to find out what's inside the gift box, not just what's on the outside of the gift box, you got to go to OFPFarms.com. You got to use the promo code SHAWN. You got to get 20% off and get that amazing gift. For yo mama. Right there at OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean, OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. All right, here we are. We're rolling. We're rocking. We're rolling. Let's do highlights from Donald Trump's first 100 days from the rally that he had yesterday. Here he was. Language alert. Donald Trump loves saying the BS word, doesn't he? It's one of his favorite ones to drop. And the crowd always goes crazy when he says that. Let's take a look. He talked about some of the accomplishments in his first 100 days. This is from the rally yesterday. Sugar honey iced tea is a word that is used here. So if you would prefer not to hear the profanity, you guys can hit the mute button. Also, by the way, I see a few comments, just like we've seen the last couple days. Some folks are having a hard time accessing the show today. It's on a countdown loop and whatnot. If you're having problems, I encourage you to email Rumble, support@rumble.com, support@rumble.com, and let them know. That's why we're also streaming on X as well. You can tune into it. You won't have the chat, obviously, but you could tune in over on X on my personal channel and on LFA TV US. Here is Donald Trump celebrating and listing some of his accomplishments. Of course, there's a little bit of profanity here. If you don't want to hear it, you can hit the mute button. Donald Trump listing some of his accomplishments out of his first 100 days yesterday in Michigan. Take a look.
I ended all of the lawless so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion bullshit all across the entire federal government and the private sector. And I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. And a really easy one, this was the easiest one I had. I banned men from competing in women's sports. You know, they always say that's an 80-20 issue. No, it's about a 97-3 issue. I also proudly banned the use of puberty blockers and other chemical and surgical, right? All these mutilations of our minor youth, I banned it all. I signed executive orders to abolish critical race theory and transgender insanity from our schools and from our military. We fired the woke boards of visitors at our military academies. We have great people running our military academies now. And I've directed the reinstatement of patriots expelled from our military by the Biden vaccine mandate with full back pay.
So a pretty good 100 days, right? A pretty good first 100 days in terms of the accomplishments. A lot of this was done, most of it, actually probably all of it, was done through executive order. Here's the thing we need to do. I hear now Mike Johnson, John Thune saying the big, beautiful bill isn't going to be done now until July 4th. The House version of it should be done by the end of the month. July 4th for the Senate version. You know, look, we're playing with fire here. We're playing with fire here, I think. And as Kelly just said in the chat, Kelly Walker, who's very smart. We love as a smart guy, very smart guy. It will be a short 4 years if Congress doesn't codify these things. It's like Kelly prepped the show with me last night. That's where I wanted to take this this clip, right? Is that none of the things that Donald Trump just listed, none of that matters unless Congress gets its act together. No more 2-week breaks, no more Anna Paulina Luna talking about proxy voting, no more distractions, no more shiny objects. Okay, focus on codifying the Trump agenda. I've only been saying it since February, right? That Donald Trump's policy positions are more popular than Donald Trump himself, and now is the time to strike while the iron's hot, while the American people want to see these things enacted into law. It's very simple. Do what we're asking you to do, okay? So if the Senate version of this bill is going to be done around July 4th, it better be done. Because I can tell you this, Donald Trump is planning a big celebration, 250 years since America was born, July 4th, 1776. Now it's July 4th, 2026, 2025, 249 years later, right? He's planning this big. I guarantee you, if this is not done by July 4th, he's going to be furious. Furious. Okay? He's not going to be happy about it. Get it done. I'd rather see it passed and ready to go. He could sign it on the 4th. Get it done. It's got to get done. Everything that he just listed, DEI going out, and trans in the military, men and with that's all executive order. That could be undone. That's not what we want. Get the Trump agenda, at least lay that foundation in the big, beautiful bill. Take those accomplishments forward into the midterms, right? You got to get that signature piece of legislation passed. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know where the Senate is. I don't know what they're doing. The House. They got to get to work for the American people, or 26 is going to look real bad, and you know what happens after that. And we got to call and pressure them to do their jobs too. We got to play a role in this process. We got to be that annoying boss that you used to hate to work for, right? Oh my goodness, he just won't leave me alone. I'm doing what I'm asked to do. Leave me alone. Well, the reason why your boss is probably on you is because he doesn't trust you to get the job done right. I don't trust Congress and the Senate to get this job done right. We got to be on them. We got to be on them. All right, here's one of the funny moments from yesterday's rally. There was a protester at yesterday's rally. Did you see it? Did you guys see the protester? Brennan was standing behind me when I was watching, and I started busting out laughing because I think this is the next thing that he's going to get indicted for. Donald Trump misgendered one of the protesters. Uh-oh! That's a crime! Oh, by the way, this is going to get a workout today. The word salad fork, if we get to it. That's a crime. Donald Trump misgendered one of the protesters. This was one of the funniest things I'd seen Donald Trump do. Is there anybody who has more fun at a Trump rally than Donald Trump himself? I love Trump rallies. I love going. They're a lot of fun. It's always a great environment. You get to meet a lot of people. Is there anybody who is anybody who is having more fun on the rally stage than Donald Trump himself? Take a look at this. This is part of the rally yesterday when there was a protester and he just, go home to mom. Remember that? Go home to your mommy. Go home to your mommy. This is better than that, I think. Watch.
What's the problem over there? What's the problem? Is that a radical left lunatic? He's just a child. All right, get him out. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought it was a guy. Thank you. And she now has to go home to a mother who's a big Trump fan. Her mother's watching. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said he, and it's a she. I'm sorry.
He misgendered the protester. That's a crime. He's getting out. He's going to get indicted. That's it. The rally I thought was electric yesterday. And then, obviously, did you see Scott Jennings, one of our favorites on the show? Scott Jennings took the rally stage yesterday. What does that mean? What does that mean? Scott Jennings on the rally stage. Put your thinking caps on. Don't cheat. Don't look at my X feed. Put your thinking caps on. Why would Scott Jennings be on the rally stage? Check this out.
Scott Jennings, really great.
Thank you. Michigan. We were flying in here today, and I said, look at these farms. I got to get a farm in Michigan, because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to put a place to put them all. Thank you all very much.
A little awkward for Scott, right? Like, he made his joke, and it was a good joke, and then he was like, thanks, guys, bye. I like Scott Jennings. What do you guys think about that? Why do people usually go on rally stages with Donald Trump? Think about it. Think about it some more. As Scott Jennings went on CNN yesterday after that. And I call him now the butcher of CNN because he just destroys everybody. I call him the butcher of CNN because he destroys everyone. Watch Scott Jennings take down Jake Tapper yesterday on CNN. This was great.
Scott Jennings, I'm sure you disagree, and you're at that happy rally. What's your reaction to what you've heard so far?
Well, I disagree with Van that nobody voted for this. I just talked to, several dozen people here who are more than happy with what's happened over the last 100 days. I was asking people, what's your proudest moment for the 100 days? A lot of people said the border. They're extremely happy with immigration. But a lot of people told me the tariffs. They said they were waiting for someone to come along and rebalance the scales because they believe the United States has been taken advantage of, and only Trump had the guts to come along and try to rebalance the scale. So I'm not sure it's as unpopular, at least among his base, as maybe Van and Alyssa want you to believe. Looking forward, though, I do think he has some opportunities here. You started to hear him talk about it tonight on the issue of taxes. He is going to draw, and I picked this up on my travels with the president today, he's going to draw a bright line between the Republicans and the White House who want to cut your taxes and the Democrats who are, he says, running to raise your taxes. I think just the general income tax, but then all these other tax cuts that he's proposing. I think for the next 5 or 6 weeks, as he implores Congress to pass reconciliation, it's going to be tax, 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 tax. I'll cut them and the Democrats will raise them. That's the message to come.
Scott Jennings on CNN talking about how Van Jones, nobody voted for this. I said this with Hannah Faulkner yesterday. I was on her show yesterday. She's great. And I said, you know, a lot of people they're acting like surprised at some of the things that Donald Trump is implementing. Like he promised it on the campaign trail. Yes, I literally voted for everything he's doing. Every single thing, including, and I'm going to make an offer to our troll. We're going to make a deal with this troll. Okay? Mark LG. All right? You seem like you have very strong feelings. And if you can keep it clean, I will have you can call in today and you could tell me all the reasons why I'm wrong. I will put you on the clock like Andrew Wilkow does. 2 minutes, uninterrupted. If you agree in the chat to call in today, 2 minutes, uninterrupted, you can make your points. But if you use foul language, I'm going to hang up on you. And we'll talk about it. How does that sound, Mark? You want to take me up on that offer? I'd love to speak to you. I'm dead serious. I'd love to speak to you. You have very strong convictions. Now I'm going to say, I'll give you the number and I'll make a deal with the rest of the chat. Please don't call the number. I want Mark to call. And if Mark decides that he wants to call in and tell me every reason why we're wrong to have our positions and that Trump is fake MAGA, see, he's not going to do it because he's a coward. So here's the deal, Mark. If you don't call, I'm going to ban you from the chat. You have until 10:30 Eastern time to agree or disagree to those terms. And if you don't agree by those to those terms in the next 5 minutes, you're banned from the chat. Ultimatum. I'll give you the phone number. He wants to know how to call in. It is 631-527-4545. You can call in. I will pick up, and I will give you 2 minutes uninterrupted on the clock to make your points. You have until 10:30, and if you do 10:30 Eastern time, if you don't agree to that, you're banned from the chat. Choice is yours. We move on. ABC interviewing the fake news. We'll take the call in the second half of the show if he agrees to call. If he doesn't agree, he's banned by 10:30 because he's causing a problem and he's being nasty. 631-527-4545, Mark. I'll pick up and we'll have a conversation.
English. How is that an excuse?
What's that?
Because I'm English.
He's English? What? So am I. I speak English too. That's fine. Mark, give us a call. ABC interviewing the fake news. ABC is the fake news. Donald Trump sitting down with this interview. This was a good one yesterday. This reporter, I'm pretty sure this reporter's career is now over. Watch this.
Do you think the reputation of the United States has gone down under your presidency?
No, I think it's gone way up, and I think we're a respected country again. We were laughed at all over the world. We had a president that couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, couldn't walk down a flight of stairs, couldn't walk across the stage without falling. We had a president that was grossly incompetent. You knew it, I knew it, and everybody knew it, but you guys didn't want to write it because you're fake news.
All right. Thank you.
And by the way, ABC is one of the worst. I have to be honest with you.
Thank you.
This guy just butch. That's how the conversation's probably going to go between me and Mark if he musters up the balls to call in. Look, you're fake news, right? You're fake news. Crazy people. Crazy people. ABC, that reporter, poor guy. His career's over. His career's over. Here we go. Is another one. ABC asking Donald Trump, well, you know, the deportations and your methods. Well, people have questions about your methods. Donald Trump answers this the best way he possibly could.
As you said, it is an undeniable fact that illegal crossings at the southern border have plummeted, a staggering decline. But there are questions about your methods. And so I want to ask...
About my message?
Methods. About your methods. How you're accomplishing
They seem to
this.
work.
They seem to work, right? The methods seem to work, don't they? Don't they? The methods seem to work. I'll tell you, I don't know who that reporter is from ABC, but you know if you're sitting down with Donald Trump and you're from one of those fake news networks, he's going to get you. He's going to get you. Finally, and I'm still working on something with this MS-13 thing. I mean, it's been setback after setback after setback, but we're going to get with it. It's going to happen. Maybe a little too late, but we'll get it done. ABC asked about Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. It's great. They asked about the MS-13. Watch Donald Trump just dog walk this hack from ABC. Just dog walk him. from ABC about Kilmar Abrego Garcia and the proof that this man is a member of MS-13. And the reporter just doesn't seem to get it. And a lot of leftists were like, yeah, this is, the reporter owned it. Watch this and you tell me who owned who. I think at the end of the day, if we sent Pete Buttigieg into this reporter's bedroom and he pulled down the reporter's pants and looked at his butt, you would see a tattoo that says property of Donald J. Trump on the back of it after this exchange. Watch.
Murderers, criminals in this country. We have to get them out, and we're doing it.
By law.
And you'll pick out one man, but even the man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the
do
letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshop, Terry. You can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry. Hey, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture. We'll
and you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
but
they're in
now.
your picture.
Terry.
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
We'll take a look.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
The guy's got MS-13, and people are like, no, the MS-13 was Photoshopped. That's not what Trump is saying, guys. It's okay. Let me make it simple for the left, okay? Because we clearly have an IQ problem. And speaking of IQ problems, it's 10:30 Eastern time. It seems like this Mark guy is not going to call in. And his excuse was that he's English. So that means he's probably going to go walk out onto the streets of the UK and get gangbanged by a bunch of Muslims because he has all the answers. So now Mark can have a fun time getting banned. I gave him the opportunity to get 2 minutes uninterrupted by calling us in. Instead, he likes to spam the chat. So now he's out. That's it. I gave him an opportunity. It's crazy is that even OSS Ninja's upset with this guy, and he's basically saying the stuff that OSS Ninja usually says. So he must be doing something super wrong. Get him out. He's out. Go home to mom. I'm sorry, ma'am. Whatever. Maybe you're a lady. Go home to your mother. He's out. That's the end of that for him. He had I gave him an opportunity. And that's the end of that. So he's gone. We going to get him out?
Yeah, I wanted to let him hear as much of that as he could, but I just...
All right, he's out. That's it. Goodbye. Okay. Let me make this simple for the left with this MS-13 tattoo thing, right? Because they're saying Donald Trump released a picture and, the MS-13 was Photoshopped because he put the M and the S and the 1 and the 3 above the symbols that mean MS-13, okay? When you write LOL in your group chats or your text messages or your posts on social media or anything like that, you're not literally writing the words laughing out loud, right? If somebody writes LOL back to me and I say to somebody, hey, look, so-and-so on X is laughing at what I said, they think it's funny. Well, they're not literally in front of me laughing, right? But we know that LOL means laughing out loud, right? The symbols on the hands of Kilmar Abrego Garcia mean MS-13. Does it say it verbatim, letter by letter, MS-13? No, nobody claimed it did. We're saying the symbols on his hand say MS-13. When you write LOL, you're not physically writing laugh out loud, you're writing LOL. But we know what it means. Liberals, when I write GFY, I'm telling you to go f yourselves, right? You know what it means, but I didn't actually say it. It's very simple. This is how symbols work, okay? This is how symbols work. Everybody understands here, LFA TV means live from America television or TV. Oh, you know what I just realized? Where the hell is my cube? Get back. There it is. My cube was gone. It's back. We got the cube back. Yeah, I took it down for the other day. I was trying to mess some things around. Folks, it's an acronym. It's symbolism. The left doesn't seem to get it. No, it doesn't actually say I'm at 13. Shh. Quiet. All right. Let's move on. Let's take a quick break. We'll get to a word from our friends at AmericanFinancing.net. That's AmericanFinancing.net, folks. If you haven't called them yet, I highly encourage you do so. Stop waiting. You're going to miss this golden opportunity. With everything that's happening in the economy, it feels like we're all walking on shaky ground. Prices are stuck at a really high level. Seems like nothing is affordable anymore, right? It's no wonder why so many people are relying on credit cards to cover the gaps. Credit card debt is skyrocketing. It's leaving a bunch of people stressed out. If you're a homeowner, you don't have to face this uncertainty alone. My friends at American Financing can help you take control. They will help you access the equity in your home to help you pay down that high-interest credit card debt, giving you peace of mind and real savings. On average, people just like you are saving $800 every month. It's almost that's almost $10,000 a year, $9,600 a year. Plus, they may close your loan in as little as 10 days. Do not let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing now. It costs you nothing to get started, and you may delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you a little bit of a cushion in this uncertain time. Give them a call at 866-885-8027, 866-885-8027, 866-885-8027, or go to AmericanFinancing.net/FARASH, 866-885-8027, or AmericanFinancing.net/FARASH. Next up, the LFA TV store, where there is something for everybody. For your mama, for your papa. You know, it's OFP Farms has their Mother's Day gift sets. LFATV.us, of course, has a bunch of cool merch products that you can use and you can buy and use as gifts during this time of year. Also, Father's Day right around the corner as well. But here you go, LFATV.us, LFATV.us, right there on your screen. Click on the LFA TV store tab up on the top of the screen there. Hit the Visit the Store tab on the right-hand side. You will see everything there is to offer. You know, we got the inside scoop when Barb Naylor called the show last week and told us more mugs are coming. They've been made. They've been shipped. So the mugs will be back at the LFA TV store. People keep buying them, and they keep selling out. They're a top seller on the website, as is the Made America Great Again shirt, which I believe would be an amazing gag gift for, you know, maybe a liberal mother-in-law that you have, you know. You shouldn't like Donald Trump. You give him that Made America Great Again shirt right there at LFATV.us. And there's a bunch of other stuff on the store, too. Tote bags, keychains, Rise Up coffee, which is good for everybody. Tank tops, beach towels, ball caps, winter hats if it's still cold where you're at. LFATV.us, LFATV.us. Click on the store tab. Click on Visit the Store. Check it out. LFATV.us or JeremyHerald.com/store.
Woo!
There we go. All right, let's check in on the live chat. How's everybody doing, huh? Did you think we handled that troll pretty well? I think we handled him well. Gave him an opportunity. He didn't take the opportunity. And, you know, we made it happen real well. Hey, look, we got 5,500 people watching the show right now. We got 600 likes. We're closing in on 700. You know the big 700 you get? You hear him? You hear him? You hear him? Yeah. Mo is over there. Yeah, everyone talking about, acronyms like LOL and MS-13. MAGA. We say MAGA. We know that means Make America Great Again, right? The liberals, they don't understand symbolism. Oh, my gosh. All right. Onwards, the first 100 days were great. The rally was a lot of fun to watch. I had a lot of fun watching it. And now we'll get into some real fun stuff, other fun stuff. Towards the end of the show, we're going to have some really funny things that that I want to touch on, specifically the final story of the day, which we will get to, I promise. ICE, baby. ICE, baby. JL Jazz says STFU. Yes, we know what that stands for. Shut the front umbrella. I don't know. ICE arrested somebody yesterday. This is great. Again, remember the roosters? Nobody's above the law, right? That's my new favorite thing. The Democrats are a bunch of roosters. Nobody's above the law except them. They think they're above the law, right? So what is it called? Let me riddle the chat this on X, on Rumble. What is it called when a crime is being handled and somebody stands in the way of, let's say, an arrest, a trial? You tamper with evidence, you tamper with witnesses. What do we call that, right? What do we call that? Nobody's above the law. X wanted Mark to call, by the way. What do we call it when that goes on? There's a term, right? Winky is singing Alice in Chains in the chat. They come to kill the rooster. Okay. She's got Alice in Chains in the chat. That's great. What do we? Sooner fan Tina from Missouri and on Rumble says obstruction. D Big says obstruction. Trula Larkin 1968 obstruction, right? Interference. Gina, same thing. Obstruction 1985. Yes, it is obstruction. Cock-a-doodle-doo. I love that, right? We'll refer to the Democrats as cock-a-doodle-doos from this point in time, right? Cock-a-doodle, don't you dare. Nobody's above the law. Every morning, right? At 4 a.m, the neighbor's rooster starts screaming, nobody's above the law. Every morning, nobody's above the law, right? So this is the Democrats. All right, nobody's above the law, except, of course, people who obstruct operations to deport illegal aliens. Those people are above the law. Illegal aliens are above the law. Not anymore. New administration, we enforce the laws that are on the books, and so we get a story like this out of Virginia. The hammer of justice is about to fall on two left-wing busybodies who tried to stop ICE arrests in Virginia. Why are they going after these left-wing busybodies? Because in the words of the left-wing cock-a-doodle-doos, nobody's above the law, right? Fair warning to anybody who thinks they will stop immigration and customs enforcement agents. That's ICE, baby. Coming here from Red State. This is Red State. Who wrote this article? Terry Kristoff over on Red State does a great job. It's a fair warning to anybody standing in the way of ICE from arresting illegals, particularly those with rap sheets, into custody. Interfere, and you will be prosecuted. ICE is not playing around. Nobody is above the law. These people are in our country illegally, right? Illegally. They are not supposed to be here. I said this a couple of days ago. I don't have sympathy. I don't have sympathy for these people anymore. I had a little bit. I was like, maybe there's a, nope. You know what? There was a point in time where I was like, maybe we can handle it. Nope. Sorry. No sympathy. None. The very first thing you did when you came into this country was a crime. When you break and enter into the United States and you come in illegally, that's a crime. 100% of illegal immigrants are criminals. I've gotten a few emails from a few lunatics who are like, not every illegal alien is a criminal. Yes, they are. It's in the term illegal alien. If they weren't illegal aliens, they would be legal aliens, non-resident aliens, legal residents, legal U.S. citizens, residents of the country. The fact that they are an illegal alien means they broke the law to come into the country. It's very simple. 100% of illegal aliens who came into the country illegally are criminals. Criminals. All of them. So when ICE does its job and finds these criminals who are in our country illegally and is removing them because they're not supposed to be here, and you stand in the way, you're now a criminal. And you're going to be arrested. And the reason why I love stories like this and love seeing these people arrested is what? Is because laws only matter if they're enforced. And consequences are the best way to deter people from breaking the law. If the consequences for breaking the law aren't severe, people are not going to fear getting caught breaking the law. We need to make an example of these people who are standing in the way of ICE from doing their job and removing illegal aliens from our country in accordance with the law. Just like that judge, that hog of a judge down there and up there in Washington, Wisconsin, who decided she was going to help an illegal alien evade arrest. That's against the law. She has been punished. Hopefully that deters future judges from making the same mistake. Same as the one in New Mexico, who decided it's a good idea to just live with Tren de Aragua. Not a good idea for your safety or for your ability to comply with the law. Speaking of the law, some people have a problem with this. I don't. I think this is great. The Trump administration is cutting 4,000, removing 4,000 student visas from students who came to this country and broke the law. Again, the left and the woke right are going to say, this is Donald Trump is beholden to Israel. Had nothing to do with that. Has everything to do with the fact that they are breaking the law. You can go out there and peacefully protest the United States' relationship with Israel without vandalizing a building or calling for death. You could say, I don't want the United States to be involved with Israel the way they are right now. You may disagree with Zionism. That's totally fine. I disagree with you. I have, but I don't have a problem with anything that anybody says as long as you're being peaceful and you are in accordance with the law. If you are vandalizing buildings, if you're calling for death to America, if you're calling for an intifada, which by definition is a violent uprising of the Palestinian people, you're not allowed to call for violence. You're not. Okay? That is against the law. That is not protected by the First Amendment. All right? If you're protesting the United States' relationship with Israel, you're doing so peacefully, you're not calling for violence, and you're not vandalizing anything, I disagree with what you're saying, but I will 100% of the time defend your right to say it. Do you understand that? I disagree with people who are pro-abortion, right? I disagree with people who are pro-open border. I disagree with people who are infected by Trump derangement syndrome. I disagree with people who think that Israel is colonizing the Palestinians' land. I disagree 100%. However, if you are making your points peacefully in accordance with the law, I will always defend your right to speak your mind as long as you're not calling for violence. Okay? As long as you're not calling for violence. The difference is these students vandalizing property, taking hostages essentially in Columbia University. They had janitors that were in the building when they occupied it, and they didn't let them leave for a period of time. Breaking windows, keying cars, calling for intifada, calling for the death to Jews and the death to Americans and death to this and death to that and proclaiming to be Hamas. Folks, that is violence. That is not protected. And if you are a student coming into our country, as Marco Rubio said it very nicely, very eloquently on With the Fake News not that long ago, you are a guest in our country. If you invite somebody into your house, right, and you give them permission to come into your house and they start destroying your furniture, you have every right to ask that person to leave your home. And if they don't leave your home voluntarily after you've asked, and they don't stop that behavior after you've asked, you have every right to call the police and have them forcefully removed from your house. The Trump administration canceled the visas of roughly 4,000 foreign students in its first 100 days, the majority accused of serious crimes like assault, robbery, and arson. Nothing in here has anything to do with the United States' relationship with Israel. You don't have to commit assault, arson, robbery, vandalism, breaking windows, doing all of these, illegally occupying buildings. You don't have to do all of those things to make your point that you don't like the United States' relationship with Israel. You don't have to do those things. Once you do those things, robbery, assault, arson, vandalism, illegally occupying buildings. Now you're breaking the law. Protesting the United States' relationship with Israel is not breaking the law. Robbing people, assaulting people, illegally occupying buildings, vandalizing other people's property, that is a violation of the law. And now you have lost your privilege. You have lost your right to study and go to school here in the United States. It's very clear. It's very clear. If the only reason, I'll even say this, if the only reason that we were canceling student visas was because students were outspoken and had an opinion on how the United States and Israel interact, I would say it's wrong to take away their visas. Because that's not against the law to do that. But that's not what was going on here. There was actual criminal activity. They came into the country. They were breaking the law with no consequences. And they set up a special action team to handle it. Over 500 of those visas were revoked for 500 foreign students who are facing charges of assault. The group included individuals tied to domestic violence, DUI, child endangerment, and trafficking, both human and of wildlife. Officials told the outlet that these were not minor incidents and that only serious cases were included in the sweep. The State Department, along with the Department of Homeland Security, spearheaded the effort. They cross-checked student visa records with criminal databases to identify visa holders who had broken the law, according to the State Department. A lot of people say, the Trump administration is treating criticism of Israel like it's illegal. No. Arson, assault, trafficking, DUI, endangering a child, vandalism, illegally occupying a building. These are crimes. None of those things, not a single one of those crimes has to do with the United States relationship with Israel. Not a single one. That's not what it's about. I don't care who's force-feeding you that narrative. Spit it out. Spit it out. All right. Another one. The Wisconsin, the hog. Remember the Judge Dugan? Old McDonald had a farm, and on that farm we had Judge Dugan. She's been suspended by the Wisconsin Supreme Court after she was arrested by the FBI for helping illegal aliens evade arrest. Consequences. This should serve as an example to other judges. Don't do this in the future. Consequences matter. It's a very good development out of Wisconsin, especially considering the way the Supreme Court race went. The Wisconsin Supreme Court temporarily suspended Judge Hannah Dugan after she was arrested last week for facilitating the escape of an illegal immigrant from her courtroom. That man was facing an April 18th pretrial hearing in her courtroom on domestic violence charges. When Dugan learned that ICE was planning to arrest the defendant, Eduardo Flores Ruiz, after his court appearance, she directed him and his defense attorney to leave the courtroom during the proceeding through a side door. The pair went into an elevator, were followed by an officer, and then the man led officers on a foot chase before he was detained. Dugan was hit with 2 federal charges after she was arrested by the FBI. Quote, it is ordered in the exercise of that constitutional authority and in order to uphold the public confidence in the court of this state during the pendency of the criminal proceeding against Judge Dugan, we conclude on our own motion that it is the public interest that she be temporarily relieved of her official duty. Consequences. Put the rest of these corrupt judges on notice. You do this, this is going to happen to you. All right, quick break. Let's talk about our friends over at Armor Colostrum. That's tryarmor.com/LFATV, TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. You see it right there on your screen. It's Armor Colostrum. You know, I'm always looking for ways to enhance my metabolism, right? Improve my fitness. Improve my skin and hair radiance. Look, it's Armor Colostrum. Colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life. It contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. The problem is we stop receiving it after we're little tiny babies, right? We stop receiving it. We have to keep receiving it. We stop receiving it. It's terrible. We have to keep it. And so that's why we have Armor Colostrum. They're great people. It'll help reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. It'll stimulate your stem cells and collagen production, increasing elasticity for plumper skin, guarding against UV damage, chemicals and pollutants from the environment, and it'll help clear blemishes for a glowy complexion. It'll help fortify your gut health, ignite your metabolism, and it can also help fuel your fitness performance and recovery. Folks, there's a special deal at tryarmra.com/LFATV. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. Try, T-R-Y, Armra, ARMRA.com/LFATV. Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor for 15% off of your first order. Tryarmra.com/LFATV. That's try, T-R-Y, Armra, ARMRA.com/LFATV. Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor. Here's a good story. Remember the Maryland man? There's no evidence that he was a member of MS-13. No evidence. Okay, except what? Except what? We had 2 courts and a police gang unit, and now we have this. This is a good one, folks. This is a real good one. There was a petition for custody of children that was filed in this Kilmar Abrego Garcia campaign. On behalf of Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife's ex-husband. That's a pretty interesting love triangle, but it's his wife's ex-husband, right? Now, I understand, the ex-husbands, they'll always make things up. And I would take that stance 100% if there wasn't other proof that this man belonged to a gang. But here it is, right there. This is from a 2018 motion, which is before, by the way, before that Prince George's County gang unit determined that he was a member of MS-13. Look at item number 2 on this list. The children are in serious danger at this time because she tried to kill herself and she left the kids with 11 years to take care of them. And I'm afraid of my kids are in danger because she is dating a gang member. She is dating a gang member. He made this allegation before that 2019 I-213 report came out that tied him to MS-13. More evidence that the Maryland man is not just a Maryland man, but that he's a member of MS-13. Folks, it's time to call your senators, by the way. Said at the beginning of the show, I'm going to say it at the end of the show as well. Senate Democrats are launching massive attacks on Ed Martin. They're saying things about Ed Martin that aren't just, political fodder. It's defamatory. It's disgusting. We have got to get this man confirmed. I will tell you right now. I'll say it again. If anybody has hope of the deep state being prosecuted for crimes that we believe they committed over the last 8 years, your hope rests in the hands of Ed Martin. If he is not confirmed, it's not going to happen. Okay? I have been talking about this since the day he was nominated as interim attorney. I have been talking about this for the last 2 months. We have got to get Ed Martin confirmed. Sorry, wrong slide. We have got to get Ed Martin confirmed. Has to happen. If you even want to dream of arresting James Comey and prosecuting him and Hillary and Schiff and Swalwell and all of this, if you even want to dream about it, those crimes happened in D.C. It's going to be prosecuted in D.C. and you need a prosecutor. You need a U.S. attorney in D.C. who's going to take it seriously. And the only one I trust is Ed Martin. We have got to get him confirmed. The reason why it's taking so long is because, folks, Republican senators are lukewarm on his confirmation because we're not applying enough pressure. We've got to get Ed Martin confirmed. Has to happen. Has to happen. Please call your senators, especially your senators in Louisiana, Utah, and North Carolina. Tillis, Curtis, and Cassidy. And there are some others that are lukewarm on Ed Martin. It's got to happen or your dreams of retribution against the deep state are over. Canada had some pretty nasty elections. We had 700. I mean, Mo. Let's get the Mo. Let's go to. No, MAGA Mo's 800. We got to work for your money. Here's Mo. We honk our hedgehog live on camera. We throw our hedgehog in the air live on camera. All right. Canada, they're blaming Trump. Donald Trump should have kept his mouth shut. It's not Donald Trump's job to do what's best for Canada. It's Canada's job to do what's best for Canada. And it was Pierre Poilievre who decided to make the election all about Donald Trump. The left wanted to make it all about Donald Trump in Canada. Pierre Poilievre fell for it, and instead of attacking the Liberals and how they failed under Trudeau, he attacked Trump. And they lost. Bad strategy. Finally, I told you the word salad fork is going to get a workout. Kamala Harris is apparently, I don't know if she did this yesterday or if she's doing this in the future. It was announced yesterday. Kamala Harris is giving a speech.
Oh.
It's $250 to attend it. Okay. And even if you want to watch it on a live stream, you got to pay $25. You have to pay to watch this.
That's an expensive salad.
I have never in my life paid $25 for a salad.
25 or 250?
25 for a virtual salad, $250 for an in-person salad. Isn't this crazy? You know anybody who would actually pay to watch Kamala Harris speak? I would not pay to watch. I wouldn't even get paid to watch Kamala Harris speak. I wouldn't even get paid to watch Kamala Harris speak. Unbelievable. That's funny stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. Jackie said you could not even pay me enough to watch that crazy. She's a crazy person, right? Stupid person, too. Thank you so much for watching and listening. As always, we greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I was hoping that troll called. We would have had a good conversation. But turn. It was still 5,400, so I thank you all for being here. Jeremy Harrell coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Jeremy Harrell coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Live from America for the next 2 hours. Jeremy's going to give you all the scoop about what happened at the White House yesterday. What a day LFA TV had. And then in their recap, like promo video that the White House put out, Jeremy was in it. Unbelievable. How cool for LFA TV. This network is exploding. You've come to the right place here on Rumble. If you want the truth, you want it done in a way that nobody's doing it, it's right here on rumble.com/LFA TV. So make sure if you're watching, you're here right now, the 5,500 of you that are watching, hit that follow button. Don't go anywhere. Jeremy's coming up next here on rumble.com/LFA TV. We're running off to join the great Michael Patrick Leahy on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show here in Tennessee. We'll be there in a minute. You can follow him at Michael P. Leahy on X. We will be there making it happen in just a little bit. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Jeremy Harrell coming up next. As President Trump says, we will never give up. We will never give in. We will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we will just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a phenomenal rest of your Wednesday. I'm on with Misfit later. Confirmed. It's going to happen 8:30 Central Time. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. In the words of John Fetterman, good night, everybody. Bang gavel. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.